Hey, what's up, my favorite people? It's your honest hairstylist, Miss Love, and you are listening to She Clatch It. I am here with my beautiful co-host. What's up, sister?
What's up, everybody? Happy holidays.
We are here with a very special guest. I like to I would even refer to him as like one of the legendary people in the hair game.
Absolutely.
Yes. One of the reasons why Miss Love, has been able to be noticed across the city and even across the country. We are here with the wonderful Mr. Billy Cason. Thank you for being here with us today, Mr. Cason.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, I appreciate you being here. Yes, it's absolutely an honor. And this is our rest day. So to ask anybody to come out and do anything on a chill day, I really, really appreciate it.
I had to do it for Miss Love. Take care of you.
I appreciate that. So before I get into the history of me and Mr. Cason and Mr. Cason's history, I want to just play a little game with you, Mr. Cason, just to warm you up a little bit. Is that okay? We're going to do a game called This and That. Okay. Yeah, so this or that. Would you rather be poor and good looking or handsome and broke?
Poor and good looking or handsome and broke? That's a hard question. I don't know. I'd rather not be either one of them.
You're going to be good looking and rich.
I want to be good looking and rich. Yeah, I put it like that.
Okay, say neither. All right, so would you rather have people know the details of your finances or know the details of your love life?
That's a hard one.
Neither of those.
I told you, I'm trying to get you thinking, trying to get you to think.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking. The details of my love life, that would probably be pretty exciting.
Yes, I know. I would love to see a movie on that one, a mini series or something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, you the man, Mr. Cason. Okay, so would you rather go back to the 80s or go back to the 90s?
I'd say the 80s. 80s.
Okay. All right. 80s babies. All right. And last but not least, would you rather have perfect teeth or perfect hair?
Say that again now.
Would you rather have perfect teeth or perfect hair?
Well, I'd rather have perfect teeth because I don't have no hair.
You always throw a hat on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's going to conclude our game called This or That. So moving along, I just want to just thank you, for myself, and I'm sure many other hairstylists, because Hair Designer Magazine was a way that we could showcase our talent for the whole world to see. I've had my aunts and cousins in other states. Like I have a cousin who owns a salon in North Carolina, and they always go to the Bronner Brothers Hair Show. People know about hair. They know about Bronner Brothers Hair Show. And she always says she made it a thing that she had to go get those Hair Designer Magazine books. And she said they were like a Bible to her. Because Detroit, we're the hair capital of the world, no matter who else tries to come for our title. But people from all over the country look up to Detroit hairstylists. So what made you start Hair Designer Magazine? What was your inspiration for that?
Well, I was a hair designer myself for many years. I was a barber, and then I went into hairstyling. And when I looked around to do some advertising, there was no place to showcase my work. So I decided I would come out with a magazine. And I was telling my friends that was next to me on the, in the shop with me, that I was going to do a magazine. And they asked me did I think I was Johnson Publication or somebody.
Say who you think you are, Ebony Jet?
So I started out small, getting a few of my people that was in the shop. And then finally I went outside the shop, getting people to advertise. And that's how I got started. It was a small magazine from the start, but
Grassroots.
It was a need for it.
Okay, you saw a need.
Saw a need for it because people, needed to showcase their work so the clients could see it, and the ones that they liked, they would call.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what year was this that you first started Hair Design Magazine?
October 1983.
October 1983.
Wow.
Okay,
I wasn't
now.
even born yet.
Well, I was born, but I was still in diapers. Okay, wow. Yeah, I never knew that. Yeah, in like Hair Design Magazine now, I'm going to tell you my first encounter with Hair Designer Magazine. I've always been into hair, but once I was a teenager, like people just started wanting me to do their hair. Like I don't even know how, maybe just doing my sister's hair and people would see my sister's hair and wanted me to do their hair. But as a teenager, I had my parents' basement set up as a salon. I had the basement on lock, and what I did, we would go to the beauty supply store all the time, and you will always see these magazines, nice big magazines, beautiful cover art, whoever on there looking fly. And I would get the Hair Designer Magazine. And then like the previous publications, like the newest one was always the most expensive. But the previous publications, you could get those for a little bit less. So I'd go ahead and I'll probably get about 2 or 3 at a time. And I would look through them. And all of my favorite hairstyles that I would see in there, I would take them out the magazine and tape them up on the wall downstairs in my salon. So there are hairstylists that I had on my wall. And once I became licensed and into the salons and got a chance to meet them, it was like, I was like meeting like my favorite, you might as well say superstar, because they were on my wall just how I had, anybody else on the wall, any other singer or anybody. I had hairstylists on my wall. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was dope. And then, like I say now that I'm licensed and everything. And Mr. Cason, I want to say it was maybe 2003, maybe 2004 when I first started working with you and putting ads in the magazine when I was downtown. And that was like full circle. It was awesome to be able to, I always looked up to the people who are in the magazine. And now, years later, I'm in the magazine.
Nice, that's dope.
Yeah. Another time I remember our aunt, Yank, was at the salon in North Carolina, Princeville, North Carolina. Real itty-bitty little town in North Carolina. And her hairstylist had went to Bronner Brothers and came back. And I'm going to say this was, maybe 10 years ago. But her hairstylist had came back and she brought some hair design books back too. My aunt under the dryer, that's what we do. We give you the book while you under the dryer. So she under the dryer flipping through and she screams. Everybody come over there because they like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? She's screaming. They like, what's wrong? She say, these my nieces. So it was one of the ads that I had in the magazine. It was me and my sisters in there. And she just could not believe that her niece is from Detroit. Because, when you're in a small town, Detroit is like such a big place.
City, yep.
Yeah, my niece is from Detroit. They in a magazine. Yeah. And matter of fact, one of my cousins who was on our podcast previously, Pam, she had came into town for a few months, and Mr. Willis had put her in the Hair Designer Magazine. She was one of his models. So I mean,
Rob Willis?
No, Carl Willis.
Carl Willis. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So like people from all over have been in your magazines.
Oh yeah, been quite a few people in the magazine.
Yeah.
Years, yeah.
So how great is that working with all these beautiful women? Like you get to see people at their best. They all made up and dressed up to the T.
Well, it's exciting. It's part of the job, you know what I'm saying? The
Right.
pleasant part of the job. It was some unpleasant parts too. But it was exciting to, meet people. I like to meet people. Plus, I took a lot of the pictures
Right.
and did a lot of the layouts. So it was something that I look forward to, every year. And so far, everything has been good.
Yeah, I can't say I agree. I remember we had did a photo shoot with you one time, and one of my best friends, my friend Michelle, she was one of my models, and she did not know how to pose, right? And she's like, I don't know what to do. But, I had them all in these like sexy black dresses and fishnets, and you know how we do, just fly to the max. So Mr. Cason, you said, all right, well, turn around and face that way. He said, okay, now look back at me. That was before Killer Mike and Trina, okay? But when I tell you that picture, we laughed so much. It's like, Michelle, like, she's very curvy, nice size butt, all that stuff.
Yes.
Right, perfect shape. Like, don't you wish you had a body like that?
Yes.
Yeah, but when he just said, all right, turn around and look back at me when I said, but it was the nicest picture.
That pose.
Yes,
She
it was
killed it.
the bomb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, you have a eye for... for photography, like you get those angles.
Mm-hmm.
So did being in the magazine business, having a magazine, did that get you into photography, or were you into photography before?
No, I was into photography when I was in the Army. I used to take a lot of pictures. I was soldier,
Okay.
get a camera, and take a lot of pictures. So I never did even think about, it being a profession. But when I started the magazine, I needed a photographer, so
Yeah.
I just picked up the camera and started taking the pictures myself. So over the years, I got pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Practice made perfect.
practice. There you go. There you go. There you go. So that's how the photography thing basically got started, and I still do it.
Okay. And in addition to your photography, I remember one time you were promoting kickboxing.
Oh, I still do kickboxing.
You still kickbox?
Yeah, I'm out here in the jungle. I got to be ready. Yeah, I still do that. I promote I still do kickboxing twice a week at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm so fit.
Yeah. You are in great shape. Absolutely.
You got to work at it.
All right. Well, our co-host, yes, last but not least, yes. What's up, my bam?
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
How you doing?
Yes.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so I was telling Mr. Cason about how he has photographed like all of us.
Yeah.
Literally.
You have.
Yeah, we have all
Many
been.
times.
Yeah, we've all been in your
Your
magazine.
sister too?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. She's
Yeah.
a sister too.
Yes.
How many sisters you got?
It's the three of us. Yes, and the
okay.
three of us, yeah, we are. She
No
clatching.
brothers?
Yeah. Just us.
All right.
Yeah. All girls.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you now, She Clatchet, we are big on etiquette because we think that there are we know that there are some lessons that everybody don't get about etiquette. So when you mentioned that there were some good things and then there were some challenging things about the business, like what etiquette tip can you give to hairstylists on advertising and how to act?
Well, we pretty well, as far as the hairstylist is concerned, if you're going to do a photo shoot, first thing you need to be on time.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing
We struggle with time.
We do.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And the next thing you need to have your hair designs together, know where you're going, know what you're trying to show the public that you do. And next thing, you just need to know how to pose. You should have your models ready when they get to the studio. So you should practice posing and everything before you get to the studio.
Okay.
It's not like you get to the studio and then I got to pose them or tell them what to do. you should have that ready already.
Already have your vision.
Right. And those are some of the things, of course, if you got kids to shoot, you need to have them under control, But one of the main things that I have found that people just don't be on time.
Okay, that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing for black folks, period.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we call that
absolutely.
CP time.
Be on
Absolutely.
time.
Mm.
So those are some of the things that you need to work on before you do a photo shoot.
Okay. Okay, now recently you just started offering billboard ads for the hairstylist.
Well, I've been doing it about really surprising. I think I've been about 3 years now. It passed by so fast.
Yeah.
Time don't wait on us. So.
Not a man, not a soul.
Right. So I've been doing billboards for about 3 years now.
So what made you do the billboards in addition to the magazine?
Well, that's just another form of advertising. People see you on a billboard, they think you done made it.
Yes, because Miss Love is big time, honey.
Billboards, you're up there with the big boys, McDonald's and Burger King, all them type of, so they look at you a little different, So I just started a new phase, billboards.
Absolutely. That was very innovative.
Right. It started a new phase. So now we do the magazine and the billboards. Yeah. So that's how I got started in it. Somebody asked me about, doing a billboard, so I did one, and then they loved it, and so I went on from there.
Okay. Yeah, because
You know how many people told you that they saw you on the billboard.
right.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody told me that I was on the billboard before you even called me. Like, they must have just put it up. Yeah, one of my
That show you how fast it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I was a little apprehensive because I'm like, well, do people really look at billboards while they driving?
That's the ultimate
But-
advertising.
yeah,
isn't
but
it?
they do.
You can't help it though.
Yeah.
To see a big billboard in your face while you're driving, Sometimes you're in traffic, just looking around like,
Right.
Yeah, especially if you know the person, you'll drive
Yeah.
around the block and take another look.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure
Your
will.
eyes
Yes.
ain't fooling you.
Is that who I thought I seen?
Right.
Yeah, because I had somebody call me, and I know I have not talked to them in years. And I kept seeing the number come up, but I wasn't familiar with the number. I'm like, why they just don't leave a message or text me? So I finally answered. I'm like, yes, hello. They're like, oh, you think you big time now? I seen you on the billboard on 8 Mile.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
Nice.
Look at you as being big time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's absolutely big time. So yeah, I appreciate that. I do you think that there's a culture in Detroit where hairstylists like we are our own Hollywood?
Oh, of course. That's what, Detroit is known for hair capital of the world, So yeah, we look at ourselves as being that.
Yeah. Because, in my, I am a celebrity in my own head, in my own right. And even looking at the other stylists, like some of the ones who, like, I really look up to the hairstylists of, like, the 90s. And, like, even though I wouldn't do it now, but, like, I remember people, like, hairstylists would come to the salon, full Coogee outfits. And, that's $600 outfit.
Nice.
And you coming to work, and you working with glue and hair color, working in that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you sort of like a star,
The image.
So you got to play the part.
Look it.
Right.
Yeah, you got to play the part because especially if people see you in a magazine or on a billboard or something, they look at you as being a star.
Right.
So you got to live up to the part.
Right. Live up to the hype.
Yeah, especially if you, a little pricey too. I better see you walking in here.
Yeah, you
and
better
stuff.
look like money.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see where my money going.
Yeah, because they do charge enough.
Right.
Yeah.
They making money.
Yeah, they are.
So how did you dress, Mr. Cason, when you were in the salon?
Well, when I first started out in the salon, most of the male hair designers wore suits. You wore a suit and a tie,
Nice.
And
Wow.
you know, a lot of the men's didn't want their woman to come to the shop to get their hair done because you looked like a pimp. You know, you had, you know, suits on and had your hair done or something. So, you know, there was, for a while there, you had to, you know, kind of like be, you know, have it together. Had to be real popular for because the guys just didn't want their woman coming to you and you touching on her and touching her, playing with her ears. And,
Playing all in the hair.
playing all in her hair and, you know, looking good. They didn't like that. So, but after a while, it caught on. But now, you know, they don't wear suits anymore, but a lot of them still dress pretty good, you know. But we used to wear suits and a tie.
Okay.
You know, you worked in that. And that was years ago when I first got started.
Mm-hmm. I do notice a change in the culture with the way that we dress. Like I think the females, you know, some of, because I do see some of the stylists, I be like, girl, we in the beauty industry. I'm gonna need you to look beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody in your head and you're all raggedy and
Right.
hair ain't done, nails ain't done, you know.
Say, how you
I
gonna
agree.
do my hair? Your hair.
I agree, because I'm just gonna say this as a point. I seen this one person I know. They started doing the
microbladed with eyebrows.
Yes, but their eyebrows look horrible. So I'm like, if your eyebrows look horrible, I don't trust you to do mine. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even like with a barber, you know, because if you don't have a tight line, if your facial hair isn't groomed neatly, you know, how can you hook me up? I mean, and even though you probably can, but your self-image comes across first before your talent does.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody got a uniform.
Right.
Yes, they do. They do.
Right. Okay, so how has the internet and social media changed the magazine game?
Actually, to tell you the truth,
Or
a lot
has
of
it?
the people, you know, that was buying ads and stuff like that now, they on social media, but they still advertise because social media, you know, it's like it's there 1 minute and then the next minute it's gone, you know. So you still people, you know, if you're in the book, it's a bunch of people going to look at that book when they come in the shop, you know, just like you say when you sit down, or they'll pick up the magazine, they'll go through the magazine, and then the next client. So it's still out there, you know. You still got to have something for people to look at. They just ain't gonna sit under that dry and don't look at something.
Right,
So
you do need to look at something, especially when you're under the dryer or when you're waiting.
Right. Yeah. So it affected, of course, social media have affected everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still it's still people advertising in magazines. You are.
Absolutely. Right. Because everybody isn't digital. And sometimes your phone need to charge. Your phone might go dead. Then what? But excuse me. When it comes to distribution, how do you get your magazines around? Because they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, Hair Designer magazine is all over the world. We even have magazines in Africa. We sent magazines to England, to Russia. Because just like you said, Detroit is the hair design capital. Detroit is the hair design capital, so people want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and so we got a call from Bangladesh.
Wow.
We got calls from England, from Russia, from Africa.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got calls from Africa. So the book is all over the world.
Yeah.
It has been. You know.
Okay.
Now, it's nice to hear that we are worldwide, but not also amongst the world. I have another funny story about Hair Design Magazine. Hair Design Magazine is one of the publications that are approved for the prison system.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I have sent magazines to death row.
Nice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was excited. He was all excited, and he didn't get his magazine. So he called his mother, and his mother was, I don't know, see, when the magazine go in the mail room and the other prisoners sought out the mail, they would steal the Hair Designer magazine and sell it to the other prisoners.
Okay.
And so the guy that ordered the magazine wouldn't
Never
get
got
his
it.
magazine. He never got it. And this guy, he kept it until his mother came and got him one personally.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason is not so much that they wanted to look at the ladies. Of course, they wanted to do that too. But if you notice, the pages had addresses and telephone numbers on the page.
Okay.
So a guy would get the address, and, it's very important to prisoners to have some type of communication with somebody on the outside. So they would write you a letter. They didn't have to know you. If they was lucky enough to get you to write them back, then they got somebody. Yeah, when you doing 20 years, you want somebody to correspond with. You know what I'm saying?
Pen pal.
Yeah.
And one chick, I don't know whether you know her. You know Toya? Toya?
Mm-hmm.
She well built.
Yeah, very pretty. Yeah.
And she got so many letters. She's Cason, I don't know if I'm gonna advertise.
Well, I brought that up because I received a letter before. And another one of the nail techs when we were downtown had received a letter. And we were at this particular magazine, like, you probably had just about everybody in the salon in that magazine, this one issue. And myself and the nail tech both got letters. And when this letter came to the salon, and I mean, I'm not familiar with the prison system and all that, but I just seen in a return address all these numbers. I'm like, who and what is this? So I'll go ahead and open it up. And Miss Love, you are a beautiful woman. I got 2 to 20. I have a bald head. And he spelled it Ball, not Bald.
Okay.
I might have entertained him and wrote him back if he spelled bald, but he spelled bald head.
Maybe he didn't go like around.
It looked like
Right.
a ball.
His head is shaped like a ball. Yes. But yeah, I got letters before. Yeah.
We still that's still going on. Come by the other day wanting a magazine for somebody in the penitentiary. Well, that way they can,
And they keeping up, seeing what's going on.
Yeah, right. If they get some type of communication with you, they got something to look forward to. I've never been to the penitentiary, but I can imagine, you want to communicate with somebody on the outside.
Right.
Somebody to tell you what's going on,
Yeah.
So this guy was on death row, though. So we not only sent him to Jackson, I was sending them all over the world, really. Yeah.
Yeah, that is like, I'm just so honored and I'm so thankful that you came here to speak with us about that today. Because like Hair Designer Magazine, just to know that it's been all over the world and then to get recognized for your talent, it's very rewarding as a hairstylist. And yeah, you help. I mean, you are the person who got us out there because, I mean, if it wasn't for your magazine, I'm sure it would be way, way harder for people to be able to recognize a lot of us.
Right.
Yeah.
It made a lot of them famous. You got,
So shout out to being
Jody,
innovative.
Guys like Cool C, everybody.
Everybody. Who else? He got people mad here. But you were innovative. Yeah. And then, too, I've had people who I know specifically have called me and reached out to me because they see me in your magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your magazine is almost like a Rolodex for, like, the hottest stylists in Detroit.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm glad that I was able to, do something like that.
Yeah. And we're glad you're here too.
Yes.
Yep. So, I mean, we could talk about this all day, but I'm not going to hold you. I know it's your off day. I'm going to let you go ahead and get to chilling like you were. But thank you for being here. And thank you guys for tuning in and listening to She Clatch It. You can find us on social media and you can listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming apps. And we always want to encourage you to continue to be amazing. Peace.